Good morning, YouTube! Michigan Jackrabbit back. So things have been really hectic here lately. That's why I haven't put out a video recently. Forgive me, all of my friends at church, my family. Stress, plain and simple stress. Anyways, a lot of stress. Especially dealing with the snow. Leading up into the winter, dealing with the snow, trying to get myself prepared, get my head right. Sitting here, actually, I'm down here in Georgia. My first time back in Georgia in 20 years. Last time I was in Georgia, I was 9 years old, and I actually lived here for about 3.5 years. But that's a story for another day. That's a story for another time. In fact, I'm actually thinking about moving down here. Getting on the Georgia Pacific account, transferring over to Georgia Pacific. Don't get me wrong, OTR is good. I'm starting to get into a groove. Miles are getting better. I mean, I put in 2,300 miles last week. Somebody in payroll's messing with my money, but I'm going to be calling on Monday to figure that one out. Somebody in payroll's screwing up. There's no way that I took out $195 worth of advances in 1 week, or $295 in advances in 1 week. So I gotta go get that fixed. Well, get on the phone and get it fixed. I'm actually sitting in our terminal here in Decatur, Georgia. Right, up outside of Atlanta. And oh man, the first thing I noticed when I got back into Georgia and I stopped for the night a couple nights ago is I got out of my truck, I smelled that sweet Georgia pine air, and I freaking melted. Oh my gosh, I love you, Michigan. I love Michigan. But I think I love Georgia a little bit more. So, ended up, I had to deal with a little bit of snot today. Well, yesterday and today. 20 more minutes of pre-trip. Anyways, had to deal with a little bit of snot flinging. Well, kind of, sort of, I guess. I don't know, a minor inconvenience. I mean, I got paid detention paid, but I ended up having to sit around here for 22 hours. Because the load that I'm picking up that's going to Alabama, what isn't going to be that I was supposed to pick up yesterday to take to Alabama, wasn't even going to be ready until noon. It's not even going to be ready until 12 o'clock. It's, time is it now? Stupid Qualcomm. There we go. It's 10:26. It's not going to be ready for another hour and a half. And I'm like 28 miles away. What a pain in the pecker. It's an 86 mile run, or an 80 some mile run, but that leads me up to a 600 some mile run going up to Arkansas. Get that money. get money. So, gosh almighty, y'all. I get a little bit rough here, and I got a shave later today. Cash in one of my TA shower credits later on, tonight or something. Gosh almighty. But working on trip planning. What's gonna make or break you out here is whether or not you can keep your butt in the driver's seat and plan your trip out properly to where you're getting your loads in on time. You're not having to send in macro 22s. You're not ticking off customers because of it. And, things like that. That's the key to making money out here. I'm figuring it out. I'm having some help with someone from the company, from out of my terminal. And she's a great lady. I'm not going to put her name out there just because, I don't have her permission to do it. I haven't asked her if I can do it, so I'm not going to. Now, ears kind of tickling. I got tinnitus in both of my ears a little bit, so. Anyways, so I'm figuring it out, as I'm going along. I picked up a little bit of help in the last few days because I screwed up and I got into some trouble. I almost had an accident up in Ohio. My first time driving through some really slick, slippery stuff. And I was sitting 70,000 pounds. That's what I rolled off the scale at. And it was, it was slushy, and I almost got hurt. I almost hurt somebody. I was a good 10, 15 seconds back. That's the size of the gap that I had between me and the cars in front of me. And unfortunately, it wasn't enough. I tried, traffic slowed down, came to a stop, and so I tried slowing down, and I wasn't slowing down. I was not slowing down at all. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, this isn't working. I was getting closer. I was sliding closer and closer. I was using my trailer brake to keep from jackknifing. And I had to make a decision really quick. I was 5 seconds away, and I had to make a decision. And I decided, okay, I have to put it in the ditch. I have to put my baby in the ditch. And, it's one of those decisions where you can't think about it. You don't have time to actually think about it. It's, okay, hit them, go to the ditch. Hit them, go to the ditch. I had no out to my right. Or to my left. I had to go to the right. So I started moving over, still had my trailer brakes locked up, and I got onto the rumble strip, and I realized, hey, because I was in the white powder, I was in the dry stuff, and I realized, hey, I've got traction on this rumble strip. I'm gonna ride this out. So I'm sitting there on the shoulder of the interstate, and I'm riding out I'm using the traction on the rumble strip to help me. Now I'm still sliding, but I'm slowing down really quickly. It took me about that 5 seconds that I had between me and that car, plus another second. So 6 seconds to come to a dead stop. And when I finally came to a stop, I was about 30 feet past the car that I was going to end up hitting. If I had hit them, I would have hurt those people really bad. So, you know, and I was sitting there on the side of the interstate, popped my brakes, turned on my four ways, and I was shaking like a leaf. I was freaked out. No joke, I was freaking out. But called dispatch, let them know what happened because I got a hard braking event. You know, I got a critical event. Told them everything's okay. Nobody got hurt. Truck and trailer are unharmed. You know, nothing has been damaged. My vehicle is still operational. I can keep going. They said, okay, great, good job. Get to the next truck stop, take a 30-minute break, get yourself back together, you know, and then finish out the run. Well, I did. I got rolling again as soon as traffic cleared out from around me. And ended up, I was still freaked out. Ended up having to call my mom to kind of talk me down, talk me into the next truck stop, because I was freaking out that bad. Ended up having anxiety attacks the rest of the day. And some drivers actually followed me to that truck stop. Some other truckers followed me to that truck stop to make sure that I was okay. But that was my scariest moment out here so far. That, you know, that'll wake you up. That will seriously wake you up. You start feeling complacent, overconfident. Crazy crap like that's gonna happen. And the thing is like I wasn't complacent, I wasn't overconfident, and it happened anyways. It can happen to anybody. Doesn't matter how good of a driver you are or you think you are, it's gonna happen to you eventually. And so, you know, out here, you got to be careful. Why, you know, if you're a driver, keep that distance. You know, when you're driving through conditions like that, keep as much distance as you feel you need between you and that vehicle in front of you, and then add more to it. Seriously, add more to it. Do 20, 25 miles an hour under the speed limit when you're driving through nasty, slippery slush like that. If you're in a four-wheeler, watch out for us. We can't stop anywhere near as fast on that wet slush as we can on a dry road. If one of us is behind you, keep a watch. If it looks like we're not going to stop and hit you, get out of the way. We don't want to kill anybody. We don't want to have that on our conscience the rest of our lives. But anyways, this video's getting long. It's 15 minutes. But yeah, just you know, keep watching, like, share, subscribe. You want to hear some more about what goes on out here? Let me know in the comments below. You got a question for me? Leave it in the comments below. I promise you, if I get enough if I get enough questions, I will address them all in another video, in the upcoming 2-3 weeks. But I need you guys to ask questions. I need you guys to leave comments. You want to hear some more stories? Say so. Ask. You want to know some information about the Academy, Swift Transportation? Ask. I can't help you guys out if you don't ask. Closed mouth never gets fed, right? Anyways, please like, share, subscribe. Leave your comment in the comments below. Leave your questions in the comments below. I love answering questions. I love telling stories about what goes on about what I face out here, about some of my friends out here. And God bless you guys. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Keep watching. Hit the little bell when you subscribe. And it'll let you know when I put something new up. So anyways, God bless you guys. I love y'all. Y'all have a great weekend.